Welcome to Basketball Cinema, where we revisit the most important and iconic games in NBA history. I'm Jay Canada, and today we're looking at a 2016 regular season game between the OKC Thunder and Golden State Warriors. As most of us probably remember, 2016 was a truly special year for the NBA. Ending in unparalleled dramatic fashion in the finals, the season also included a record-breaking run from Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, who would go on to win 73 games. At the time of the game we're looking at today, the Warriors had a sparkling 52-5 record on the season and weren't shying away from the idea that they were indeed trying to break that 96 Bulls win record. They were gunning for 73. And basically nobody could stop them. Steph Curry was leading the way for the Warriors, following up his 2015 MVP season with one of the greatest single-season performances by an individual we've ever seen. Curry would go on to average 30 points a game on a ridiculous 67% true shooting clip, while dishing out 7 assists per game and leading the league in steals. That seems good. Is that good? Empowered by Steph's sense of invincibility in 2016, the Warriors weren't just out trying to win games, they were on a pretty specific mission.
Golden State is coming to embarrass them.
They are.
And I'm telling you right now, I don't believe they're going to let it happen.
The they that our good friend Stephen A was referencing in that clip happened to be the OKC Thunder. I think it's been lost to time just a bit, but outside of the Warriors, the West was ridiculously stacked in 2016. Kawhi and the Spurs would finish with 67 wins on the season, while OKC slid into third with 55 wins, and the CP3-led Clippers won 53. Bloodbath. After missing the playoffs the year prior thanks to an injury to Kevin Durant, OKC was intent on proving their strength and might in the West once again. Just 3 weeks prior to this game, however, the Warriors narrowly beat the Thunder by 8, setting up a much-anticipated rematch on a February Saturday night live on ESPN. Steph and the Warriors were out to send a message to the other top contender in the West, with storylines swirling and star power to burn.
Any basketball fan out there, don't miss this, because I think they're going to show up and answer the bell for this one. I really do.
And when the bell rang, OKC was indeed ready to throw some punches, leading to one of the greatest regular season games in NBA history. Here, I'll show you. The game began with a flurry from the home side, as the Thunder got a quick 2 from Westbrook hanging in the lane, 2014 league MVP getting in rhythm immediately with a 3, and OKC went up 8-0 after Andre Roberson's splash from the corner. 2 minutes into the tilt, number 30 got on the board for the first time.
Curry fires away and hits the 3 behind the back and a crossover against Durant.
And of course, doing it in style as only he could. We last saw Steph Curry here on Basketball Cinema playing the role of hype man for Klay Thompson as he was busy dropping 60 points on 11 dribbles. I mentioned earlier the end of season numbers for Curry that would lead to him winning the MVP award, but here's some more fun tidbits. He scored 30 points or more 40 times in 2016. He scored 40 plus 13 times and was fresh off his third 50-point game of the season heading into his matchup with the Thunder. There's basically no analysis I can give on Steph that we all haven't already heard, so instead let's listen to Jerry West.
For the Warriors to have someone like him, forget his play. His voice, his presence is truly unique among athletes. I've never been around a nicer athlete in my life.
Honestly, if the logo is complimenting your approach to the game, you really have nothing further to accomplish. The Thunder were determined to spoil any Golden State party in the early stages of this game. A Steven Adams shake and hook put him up 5. Then it was the superstars doing more work. Durant left wide open from beyond the arc. It was money. Russ then in transition attacking as only he could, finishing over Thompson for 2. Golden State was forced into the first timeout of the game down 11 with the early surge led by Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. We just saw KD here on Basketball Cinema last week as a member of the Nets as he nearly toppled Giannis and the Bucks. Russ, meanwhile, appeared on the channel as we looked at his gnarly 2017 MVP campaign. The Thunder dynamic duo had spent the previous 2 seasons derailed by injury, KD in 2015 and Russ in 2014, but they were collectively out for blood in 2016, as both men would finish top 5 in MVP voting upon season's end, leading the Thunder to a 55-27 record under new head coach Billy Donovan. Uncharacteristically slow start for the Warriors, but a perfectly timed cut and feed from Green to Thompson got them back on track. On the ensuing possession, Thompson with a pull-up midi going left this time, another assist for Green. While Steph Curry was obviously the headliner in this game and for this team, we also need to properly introduce both Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. The other half of the Splash Bros, Thompson, had established himself as an all-star the year prior. As well, he made third-team All-NBA. Unlike Steph, he didn't see his numbers jump up year over year into 2016, but his 22 points a game on 60% true shooting made him one of the most overqualified second scoring options in the NBA, and of course, the picture-perfect sidekick for a scorching Steph Curry. Meanwhile, never has the term glue guy been more appropriate than when describing Draymond Green during this Warriors run. Dre averaged a modest 14 points in 2016, but filled the stat sheet with 9.5 rebounds and 7.4 assists per game, all while helping to unlock the Warriors offense with his playmaking and their defense with his unrivaled activity. Dre also finished 7th in MVP voting in 2016. I had no clue. What a fun fact. The game had started about as well as could be expected for OKC, as with Durant on the bench, they still went on a quick 8-2 run. Serge Ibaka on a pocket mid-range jumper, Dion Waiters from just beyond the elbow for 2, Westbrook's silky feed off to a Ness Cantor in transition, and Ibaka on the quick pull-up from Russ, putting it home. OKC would close the first quarter up 10. As Thunder fans know, there was a carousel of players brought in throughout the KD Westbrook era year over year, in an attempt to find the perfect mix of supporting cast pieces. In 2016, that supporting cast was Serge Ibaka, Andre Roberson, Steven Adams, Dion Waiters, Kyle Singler, and Enes Kanter? Oh. To be fair, the big man depth on this Thunder roster was quite impressive, but the constant struggle for Sam Presti was finding an adequate third shot creator and spacing for his two superstars. I mean, if only they could have gotten their hands on a dynamic young two-guard with shot creating and floor spacing ability. Ah well. Harrison Barnes looking like a certain small forward that would eventually wear a Warriors jersey as he spun and splashed from the mid-post. Former Phoenix Sun Leandro Barbosa off the bench with a midi for the Warriors. Durant, though, with the quick answer.
Durant drives and finishes. Iguodala looked like he had him for a moment, and then a quick move.
14 early points for KD. The hulking Enes Kanter with finesse, Euro stepping to the rim for 2. 2015 Finals MVP Andre Iguodala was on one early in this game, driving to the lane and flipping up some absolute BS. BS meaning brilliant shot, of course. Having checked back into the game, Westbrook decided to put his foot on the gas, stopping on a dime and dropping in a jumper. On the ensuing possession, Russ collected an O board and put it right back, then he urged the home crowd to get louder. Yeah, come on. Fresh off a timeout, Steph with his second deep bomb of the game from the left wing. Ibaka regained a 7-point lead for the Thunder on a putback, but Steph...
Curry from the corner, another!
Off-ball movement like we've truly never seen. Just a truly remarkable...
Curry, long distance, puts it in! Stephen Curry with another three-pointer, his fourth!
I mean, I was trying to praise you, Steph, but feel free to interrupt me, I suppose. A credit to how spunky this Thunder team was, though. They withstood that signature Warrior flood. Durant would smack a triple with a hand in his face. Russ over Draymond with a timely pull-up. Westbrook this time bullying Steph on the low block for 2. Then a pair of Kevin Durant hoops. First one on a turn into the middle of the paint. Second one an alpha maneuver with a jumper over Draymond. The OKC Thunder would close the first half with an 11-point lead. Westbrook and Durant having combined for 35 points, while Curry and Thompson were at just 22. Hey, can we just wrap this thing up right now? We've probably seen enough, right? Wait, Draymond and KD trash talking on their way off court? What amazing foreshadowing. Wow. As we've seen a million times, Klay Thompson aka Big Smokey heating up to begin the third. First a jumper on a dribble handoff from 17 feet out, then a jumper off a down screen from 17 feet out. Symmetrical. Nice. Look at 6'6" Draymond Green defending Kevin Durant, squaring up and blocking his jump shot. Super scary moment here, as Steph Curry fell very hard along the baseline. He'd have to leave this game for a good 5 minutes. Dude, imagine if Steph had... You know what? Never mind. We're not even going to think about it. Okay, so listen to this, guys. According to this report, Draymond Green was very unhappy at halftime.
He was yelling and screaming, "I am not a robot. I know I can play. You have me messed up right now. If you don't want me to shoot, I won't shoot the rest of the game." At one point, people were trying to get him to sit down. Guys came out of the locker room. I'll have more when we come back from commercials.
Oh yeah, just a profanity-laced tirade from Draymond at halftime. Classic. After that Nick Castellanos-esque report from Lisa Salters, we return to action with Kevin Durant connecting on a deep bomb. Maybe Draymond should be yelling at himself. My guy just airballed a free throw. Clay doing some heavy lifting with Steph's sideline, first on a nice slice and drive to the rim for 2. Then a tough pull-up mid-range moving to his right, 10 quick points in the quarter. OKC just kept pushing though. A Russell Westbrook special right here.
Westbrook to the basket, the finish, count it, and 1.
2 and 1 yells from Russ on the same play. That's why he'd eventually become an MVP. High efficiency and 1 yelling. Let's listen into a fan heckling Draymond Green caught on the mic.
I don't know why he's waiting.
Wait till the second shot.
Fans are the best, man. Steph Curry had checked back into the game and didn't waste much time, pulling up on a pick and roll. The MVP got the friendly bounce off the rim. Cantor not stepping up on that screen coverage was a huge mistake. Watch this sequence from Draymond. As the secondary defender, he was able to anticipate Westbrook's Euro step blocking the shot emphatically. Moments later, he'd position himself to tear down a defensive rebound before quickly hitting Steph on the outlet, leading to an easy hoop down court for Mo Spates. As I pointed out a few times, Dre had been making impact play after impact play during this game. And while it wasn't reflected in the scoring category on the stat sheet, my guy was running numbers everywhere else. He'd finished this game with just 2 points on 0 for 8 shooting from the field and 2 for 5 from the free throw line, but he also added, get this, 14 rebounds, 14 assists, 6 steals, and 4 blocks. That is nuts. As if to make up for the time he lost earlier, Steph was making quick work of the Thunder, this time in semi-transition, pulling up off the bounce and splashing in Waiter's face. Steph was 6 for 7 from deep at this point. Then another ridiculous Draymond Green sequence, cleanly stripping Cantor on the drive, maintaining possession before he fell out of bounds, and in one motion he sent Steph on a breakaway layup down the other way. Steph would make a pair from the stripe. He'd finally miss a long launch, did Steph, as this time Cantor did indeed step up on the screen. Good job. But that only served to annoy Steph, it would seem.
Crossover, step back, three-pointer, bang!
A low register bang from Mike Breen. I kinda liked it. Fortunately for OKC, Durant wasn't ready to die in this game, pulling up in transition for a dead-eye 3 of his own. And with time waning in the quarter,
Durant, crossover, another 3, it's good! Kevin Durant from way downtown!
5-point game to begin the 4th. With all the stars shining bright in this game, you just love to see it. The Warriors, though, would actually go scoreless for 3 full minutes to start the 4th, including Harrison Barnes failing to make a wide-open layup in transition, yikes. Anderson Varejao failing to make a wide-open layup in the half court, yikes. Anderson Varejao failing to make both free throws, excuse me, I ordered some superstar action on my screen, not this, okay? Right on cue, Kevin Durant delivering, with a fader from the right elbow to give him 32 on the game. OKC would actually go up by 12 at this point in the 4th, as Enes Kanter made a pair from the free throw line. Sean Livingston getting the Dubs back on track, as he's done 9 million times in his career, making a jumper from the paint plus the foul. Klay Thompson a rhythm mid-range pull-up around Durant, and we were back to a 7-point game. Draymond Green a perfect feed under the rim to Barnes for the dunk. But after a Kyle Singler basic tutorial-looking reverse layup, we didn't have another point for 2 full minutes. We did have this though.
Durant finds Adams. Adams blocked by Draymond Green. What a rejection from Green.
Bro, this man Draymond. Another patented explosive Russell Westbrook attack of the rim for 2. Green once again initiating the offense for Golden State, finding Thompson on a cut for the lay. OKC finally saw their offense get bogged down at this point, with both Russ and Ibaka missing. Following possession for the Warriors saw Curry slice in the paint for 2. The empty possessions really hurt the Thunder because
Curry from downtown. It's good! Curry from way downtown. It's a 4-point game.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter if you step up on the screen. Like, how do you defend that? KD a decent look to answer, but came up short on the mid-range attempt. Durant would muscle into the paint, get fouled, and he'd make a pair from the line. But the Warriors were interested in a different line, the 3-point line.
Curry from downtown, puts it in! Stephen Curry!
Or maybe not interested in the line. He was like a mile behind it. What? In response to that bomb, Serge Ibaka with a big-time shot, cashing a jumper for 2. OKC caught a break as Steph was called for a travel in the clutch, giving them back possession. A super strange play with a chance at the dagger as Durant missed a clean alley-oop look by a mile. Almost seemed like he was trying to pass it. Anyways, I'm sure you can predict what was about to happen.
Curry out to Thompson, 3-pointer, bang! 1-point game.
Thunder head coach Billy Donovan would later say of this late game back and forth,
but I thought we were pretty organized coming down the end there. You know, we were scoring, but obviously we were scoring twos to their threes there coming down the stretch, and that was, I think, a big difference too.
Threes are greater than twos. Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. But wait a second, what's that I hear coming?
Ibaka back out, Durant for three. Bang!
Oh, Mike Breen is out of control with these bangs. Oh, and yeah, pretty nice shot from Kevin Durant too. Down 4 with the shot clock turned off. The Warriors would put the ball in Clay's hands, who sliced in for the quick 2. Then chaos ensued. Durant, trapped in the corner on the inbounds, didn't take a timeout, which OKC did have the option to. He heaved a pass to midcourt, which was stolen by Green and Thompson, and in an absolute panic, Andre Iguodala would pump fake, drawing a foul on Durant, putting a stamp on a truly horrific 15 seconds for KD. Iggy would confidently step up to the line, sinking both freebies to send this game into overtime. Max Kellerman knew, ladies and gentlemen.
Fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth. You better hit it. I want Iguodala.
What a horrible take. One of the most brutal defensive miscommunications I've ever seen to begin OT, as Russ was able to walk right to the rim for the and one. Draymond about to yell at some more people after that play. Green once again out of position though, as Ibaka was left open for a dunk, 5-point lead for the Thunder. Key moment here, as on the drive, Steph was bodied and fouled by Kevin Durant, sending him to the line, and sending KD to the bench with his 6th and final foul. Curry though missed his 2nd free throw of the game? Even without Durant, what could go wrong here for OKC?
Westbrook attacks, goes at Green, trying to get it inside, deflected by Green, and Thompson picks it up. Well, Green's made some huge defensive plays. Curry for 3, nails it!
Oh, yeah, that's not great. Okay. Steph's 10th 3 of the game, tying his own record for threes in a season too. After Serge Ibaka took a pocket feed from Westbrook and finish, Steph would go ahead and break his own record.
Curry, another 3. Oh, it's good! The Curry eruption continues! A tie game!
Mike Breen is just the best, by the way, but Steph, could you please leave my guy Kyle Singler alone, okay? Andre Roberson finished an ugly sequence with a little lay-in on the interior. Then Serge Ibaka making another play, flipping one home from the low block. But remember what Billy Donovan said earlier?
We were scoring twos to their threes there coming down the stretch, and that was, I think, a big difference too.
Well, that was once again apparent here in OT, as after Draymond Green made another impactful play with an O board, he found Klay Thompson for a big-time 3, cutting the OKC lead down to 1. Westbrook took a bump on the drive from Klay. He'd make a pair from the line. Curry would once again work on Singler, this time sparing the poor lad, only forcing him into a foul this time, and Steph would make both. Andre Roberson one more key play offensively, well-timed cut on the Russ drive, and he got the roll on the lay-in. Down 3 though, here was another example of the brilliance of the 2016 Warriors. Draymond catching on the inbounds. With Westbrook and Roberson only concerned about Steph coming for the handoff, Dre was given space to dribble and survey the floor. Meanwhile, Ibaka was so locked on getting over the off-ball screen to prevent a Klay 3, he and Singler didn't communicate, leaving Klay wide open for the finish plus the foul. Brilliance from the Warriors or just really bad defense from OKC? I don't know. What I do know is the Warriors had afforded themselves a perfect 2-for-1 situation and needed just one stop, which they got. And then...
they do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
So, yeah, that was a pretty nice shot. As the host of a channel who spends 20 to 25 minutes straight talking over basketball games, it's always strange when I feel speechless. But even 5 years removed from that moonshot from Steph Curry, I still don't know how to accurately describe or analyze it. My guy was a healthy 10 feet beyond the three-point line and could have chose to take another dribble or two. But 2016 Steph was locked in to an extent we've never seen in the NBA, and he didn't need to be closer. An absolutely iconic, improbable, insane shot from Curry that truly stamped what was a record-shattering regular season for him, and of course for the Warriors as a whole.
To me, that shot, that game was an accumulation of everything that was going on that year. It was a magic carpet ride. They were the greatest show on earth, and he was playing at this incredible level.
The legacy of this epic regular season tilt between the Warriors and Thunder can be summed up pretty neatly.
That's a remarkable game that I think most people who watched it will remember for quite some time.
That's true, especially when you got dope YouTubers making videos on it. When looking through the lens of 2016, this was the stamp put on a 73-win record-breaking season by the Warriors, and by Steph Curry, who'd go on to win the MVP unanimously. But the story of these two franchises was obviously just beginning at this point. OKC and Golden State would go on to meet in a doozy of a Western Conference final, wherein the Thunder would choke a 3-1 series lead, with Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant both playing miserably down the stretch. The Warriors, of course, would advance to the NBA Finals, where they'd also blow a 3-1 series lead to the Cavaliers. 2016 was really wild, dude. As we know, chaos would be the name of the game following that season, as Kevin Durant would leave the Thunder, joining this very 73-win Warrior team. And, well, the rest, as they say, is history. It's honestly crazy how different the NBA as a whole would look just months after this game, after this historic performance from Steph Curry. We really thought we had it figured out, didn't we? But we did not at all. For each game covered here on Basketball Cinema, I'll be giving out 3 awards, beginning with the Clint Hawkeye Barton Award for Most Underrated Performer.
I don't care.
Which goes to Andre Iguodala. Iggy did his usual thing in this game, coming off the bench and playing about 34 minutes, having the displeasure of guarding KD for most of that time, while also contributing 12 points and 6 rebounds. Oh, and also 2 ridiculously clutch free throws. Those were helpful too. The Rick Dalton Award for Most Recognizable Moment goes to, well, come on, this play will never be forgotten.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
The play itself was obviously iconic. I mean, Curry pulling up from 9,000 feet out for a game winner, but also because of Mike Breen, who broke out a rare double bang.
Don't ask me why or how it came out. It was like an out-of-body experience.
And finally, the Mark Jackson,
with all due respect,
Award for Weirdest Moment in this game goes to Jeff Van Gundy passionately singing the praises of one Hassan Whiteside.
I don't know why people are always trying to knock this guy. That guy is a dominant force when he's on the floor.
That take, hasn't aged well, Jeff, but we'll give you a pass this one time. And that's it. The Golden State Warriors beat the OKC Thunder 121-118 on February 27th, 2016. The defining moment of what was a truly special season for Steph and the Warriors. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider dropping a like down below, and if you can see yourself watching a few more of these in the future, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, leave me a comment on literally anything you saw in this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well, at JCanada10, to get a tease for next week's episode. But until that one, I'm Jay Canada, and this has been Basketball Cinema. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Basketball Cinema. I will say my biggest takeaway from rewatching this game, Draymond Green in his prime was built different. I pointed out like 3 or 4 different plays he made defensively, doing different small things, but there was like a list this long of things I was like, yo, look at Draymond just affecting the game like crazy. Also, I had forgotten that Kevin Durant fouled out of this game. Yeah, my guy Kyle Singler definitely shouldn't have been on the court in OT. Share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it. Hope you all have a great day.